Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. Do you guys hear me okay? Just want to make sure the mic is working well. If you can hear me, just let me know. Okay, good. Yay, so today another live stream. Didn't get a chance to do it yesterday. I was occupied with some family stuff. So let's do it today, which I'm going to finish up the Jesse. Yeah. I've decided to finish the girls before I tackle Cloud. Yeah. So here it is. I've already done the sketch, and some of you may have seen it already. And how are you guys doing today? What materia am I choosing? I think I'm going to do a green one. Yeah, and just try to match the in game when she passed the material to Cloud the first time. Yeah, so there'll be a green materia. All right. So without further ado, I'll carry on. If some of you are about to sleep and I somehow woke you up with my live stream, I apologize. It's hard to find the right time to stream with all the time differences. I must say that I love Jessie a lot more now with the new remake. I didn't know she is that interesting back then. It's for the weak. Yeah, in a way. Every now and then you still need to sleep. Who is this? This is Jessie from Final Fantasy. One of the more underrated female character. And how are you guys holding up at home? Do you manage to finish all the game that you purchased previously on Steam? Watch all the movie that you have downloaded? How long do your rough sketch take? I think usually it take about maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Depends on the complexity and how efficient I am on that particular day. But usually it's about like 15 minutes to. If something's really, really complicated, then maybe half an hour. You want to watch me draw in real life? I would love to. Not sure it's more fun watching me draw real life or watching me draw online. Greeting from Mexico. Hello. Hello, Jean. Sadly, I can only draw stick figures. Well, not a bad start. Keep going. Start adding muscles on the stick figures. Do you see Tiger King? I haven't caught up with the show yet. Not sure if that's something that I will enjoy though. Any tips on drawing anime? Tips. Well, if you watch anime long enough, you'll realize that you'll tend to draw something that look more like anime. I mean, that's what I did. Back then, my only influence was anime and manga. So my work tend to look more anime-ish. So if you ask that question, most likely that either you are not really exposed to anime or just recently get into anime. Is that right? I think in general, I can say that every style is a formula. It's a formula of exaggerations. It's like a recipe for cooking. So every style there's some kind of exaggeration properties. For example, if I want to generalize anime, maybe I would say that you enlarge the eyes of the anime characters by 500%, and then reduce the nose by another 300% or even more, and remove the nostril if needed. Then reduce the size of the mouth by another 500%. So those are some of the. So basically, I'm trying to say is that every style has a formula of exaggeration in it. You just need to figure out what it is. And of course, nowadays the anime style is also more varied and looks different compared to the anime style that we observed a few decades ago. So the newer anime style, the older anime style, depends on which one you like. So there are many different chefs with different recipe of anime. So you need to find that particular recipe that you like by imitating the person's drawing, and then figure out what is the exaggeration formula in it. What do I think of Scarlet design in Final Fantasy VII? I'm not really into Scarlet. I don't quite like her. I mean, she's not someone that's attractive to me. Yeah. Alita? Yeah, Alita was fun. I mean, even for the movie, it looks all right. I would say that most of the manga adaptation of live actions movies are mainly failures. I'm sure you guys still uh, remember Dragon Ball Evolutions. I remember how bad the Fist of North Star action live action movie was. It's, it's bad, really bad. Hmm. But I must say that the Ronan Kenshin, Samurai X, uh, the live actions is really good. It's much better than I expected. Hello, everyone. By the way, in case of something wrong with the stream on certain social media platform, you can always switch over. I'm live streaming on Instagram, on Twitch, and on YouTube. So you can always change up a little bit if you want to try different platform. I can only stream for 1 hour on Instagram before it gets cut off. So if that happens, feel free to switch over to other platforms, YouTube or Twitch. Hi, 你好. How many of you has finished your Final Fantasy game? Almost 40 hours. Wow, okay. I don't think I can spend that much of time on a game. I'm already very grateful that I can finish the game at all. I'm grinded from max level on normal. Wow, congratulations. The only summon I get is Ifrit and Shiva. That's it. I should replay it one day. Knight of the Round Table. Yeah. Odin. I'm looking forward to see Odin. Are you making her look prettier than in the game? Well, just different interpretation. Yeah. I have my own aesthetic preference. Looking forward to see me carrying the materia. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. Hopefully I don't screw it up. What pen am I using? Yeah, this is a Copic Custom Fude brush pen. My favorite pen for inking is Copic Custom Fude brush pen. Non-refillable, unfortunately. So when it runs out of ink, you have to buy a new one. But I haven't found any other pen that's as good as this. for my need, of course. The idea of unnoobing yourself, yes, of course. That's what we do every day, isn't it? I mean, you think it's a noob, you think you're a noob, just embrace it. We all are noob to begin with in things that we don't know. Okay, let's put some black on it. Tim Liang, what do you think of his artworks? Whose artworks? Sorry, I may have missed the question. Have you met Kim Jong-gi before? Oh, Kim Jong-gi, what do I think of his artwork? It's awesome. I mean, well, I see him more of a art performer, because when you look at him draw, the process of looking him draw is really spectacular, like a show, like a performance, and you just get really encouraged or discouraged in a way, and look at how could he draw that, like what's in his mind, like how can you process that kind of information and visualize everything before he put it down on paper. So that's something that's really amazing about his art. We've met many times on many different occasions, had many meals together and talk. Unfortunately, he's not he doesn't really speak English, or really rely on the translator to convey the message. But he's a funny guy. Constantly drawing, even during dinner time or meal time, he would just draw non-stop. Why did I change the brush? Because the other brush was for small details, so thinner lines, smaller variations. This one is much bigger, the size of the tip. So if you compare this with the other one, let me show you. Yeah, so it's much bigger for this one, so you can cover bigger areas compared to the Copic Asafude. Lunchtime. me see if I saw some question. Do you feel like a master drawer, or do you criticize your own art like the rest of us? Mm. um, I've never felt like I'm a master in drawing or anything. Um, I think I'm doing okay. Uh, After all these years, I do learn something and more proficient in my craft with my craft. But I think the problem is that once you start thinking that you are done growing, you are like you got it, you have everything that you need to know when it comes to art, then you are lagging behind. You are not actually growing. Um, so I would never allow myself to think that way. That oh, I'm already good enough. I think the fun thing about art is that you always discover something new, different way of approaching art, different ideas, different techniques. It's like a season, you know. So in different as different in on the, I mean in different seasons you do different things, and that's how I see my personal growth in art, which is really fun. Do I plan on am I planning on drawing Sephiroth? Yeah, I did already. I've drawn Sephiroth last year or the year before. You can just Google it. Just search for Artyom Sephiroth. You should be able to see my version. Do I plan on am I planning on drawing Sephiroth? Oops. Yeah, what do I do with all these pieces after I finish this? Yeah, I usually put up on my store for auction. That's usually what I do for all my pieces. Yeah, I don't really take commission much unless at conventions, because I just want to draw things that I like to draw. Yeah, you know, sometimes at convention you get to draw things very repetitively. Like oh, many people would like to have Supergirl, many people would like to have a Catwoman, so it just or Black Cat. So it does get boring at times. That's why when it comes to conventions, I only draw one character per convention. So, for example, if someone wants a Supergirl, then he's the only one who can get a Supergirl sketch or drawing from me. Oh. Just to keep things fresh. Thank you. Thank you very much. Mm. How many sketches do I draw normally at each conventions? I would say that now I offer two kind of commissions at conventions. One is the more elaborate one, like what I'm doing here, which takes about an hour each, every sketch. Then if I have a lot more of this kind of sketch, then I'll have to take in a lot lesser. But also offer quick sketch, those like simple side profile sketch that take me about 10 to 15 minutes to finish. If the more of those requests, then I'll be able to draw more. So in total, I'll say give and take about, for example, at San Diego Comic Con, I'll take about 30 to 40 sketches. in average, I mean. Have I drawn any Magic of the Gathering characters? No, not personally. As a studio, we work on a lot of Magic cards in the past, but personally, I have not done any. Not really into the Magic stuff. Can't wait to see me again at Lightbar Expos. I really hope so. Love your stream, but I'm sleepy. Go and sleep. Don't make me hold you back. Your well-being is the priority. How much will commission like this cost? Last year I was charging 1,000 for this. That's the 219 pricing. But that's the price at conventions only. Usually I charge slightly cheaper at conventions because I know people pay a lot and it's hard to get convention tickets. I mean, even for my prints, my prints at conventions, I'm selling about at $20 each. And I've been selling it at that price for the past 10 years. Never change it. With autograph, of course. Thanks for your frequent stream lately. Yes, I'm happy that I get to stream a lot more often because of the stay-home situation. I just hope that you guys won't get bored looking at this. Yeah. And of course, I'll do my best to make the stream as educational as possible so they have something to take away from. I found myself not motivated to draw. What do you do when you feel the same? Well, I would say that in general, we are human beings, so sometimes you feel like doing something, sometimes you don't feel like doing something. I mean, even for myself, some days I just want to chill. I think that's normal. But I think there's the question that you need to ask yourself: is there a deeper, bigger problem to that? Like, do you constantly don't feel like drawing, or only a certain time of your life, or certain season of your life. I think you have to figure out the root problem. What is it about? Is it because of lack of confidence, social media pressure? Is it because somebody told you that your art sucks, that you don't want to draw anymore? Like you have to find out what causes that lack of motivations. Or is it because of distractions in life, like games, like Final Fantasy, Animal Crossing, whatever? Something that caused you to cause your distraction. If you are talking about lacking of confidence, then well, the only way for you to get out of it is to first ask yourself, why do you draw? Do you love to draw? Go back to your first love, so to speak. Like what makes you choose to draw in the first place when you were young, when you first started to draw? Is it because it was fun? If it was fun, why it's not fun anymore now? Is it because of the pressure to perform? To compare yourself with other artists online, people that you follow, that give you the pressure? You have to figure out the problem. I would say nowadays, the pressure comes mostly from social media. Many young artists have this feeling that once you post something on social media, it have to be awesome. You have to be the best of the best. Otherwise, it's not worth showing because you want to keep up with other artists, what they put up on social media. So you don't want to disappoint anybody. I don't think that's the right thing to do. I find that using social media as a way to record your journey. I always feel that it's not just about showing off how good you are through social media. Also, especially when you're still learning and growing, showing people how you get good is more inspirational. Like what kind of obstacle you're trying to overcome in order to be a better artist. What kind of study and learning process you are trying to adopt in order to improve your art, so-called to unnoob yourself. Because many younger artists will encounter the similar problem. If you are able to provide some kind of insight to the path they're walking, because you walked that path before, and show them how you can actually get to be a better artist, I think that itself has a lot more value. There are too many of artists out there just to show off what they can do. If you can be someone who show people how to do it, I think that's more valuable in my opinion. Oh, you're playing the game while watching me draw? I seem very calm. Do I get angry? Yes, in front of my kids all the time. Especially now, I have to face them 24/7. It's hard not to get angry. Jessie is the best girl? Well, she's the new best girl, I would say. To be honest, it's been 23 years since we played the first Final Fantasy, and I didn't even remember much about Jessie back then. It almost feels like she's a new character that I know. By the way, I'm doing a multi-channel live stream now on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch, all at the same time. If there's any disruption of the stream, you can always go to other channels to watch. Man, there's a lot of black ink for this piece. Do you get a kiss from Jessie? No, unfortunately, no. I didn't finish all the side quests that's required. When I design on a pose, do I use 3D software? Not really, especially for traditional art like this. It's just something that I can visualize in my head and just work out the details. That means I have some kind of mental model in my head so that I can turn her around, put her on different poses, and then I use that to reference. So it almost feels like visualizing in 3D, yeah, but in your head. Alright, there's a lot of black. Let's put some gray on it. If you want to, feel free to draw alongside with me. Are you going to start coloring next stream? Start coloring. I'm going to finish this piece for today's stream. That's my intention. But then again, most of you are bedtime already. You can always check out the recording, the replay, after this is done. You visualize inside your head in 3D. Yeah, I mean, that's what we all do, you know. It's nothing really new about it. For example, if I ask you to draw a cube, you know, a block, do you need to look at reference to draw the block? Or you can somehow visualize it in your head and then you draw the block at different angle. I think you can. I mean, for those who have just a bit more experience in that, you will be able to draw a cube from imaginations. So you're actually visualizing that in 3D in your head, you know. So the more you practice, the more complicated shape you can visualize. I mean, not at Kim Jong-gi level. That's totally different level. But to a certain extent, you'll be able to visualize it with some support of a photo reference. Will you be putting any Final Fantasy art on the shop? Yes, I will, but I won't be selling print for that. I don't sell print for my sketches. Only sell the original piece. So I'll gather all the Final Fantasy pieces, including some of the pieces I did previously, and put it on the shop for auction. And auction them out. Always look a little creepy when the eyes are undone. Yes, of course. But you know that it will be done. Actually, how many of you, when you eat ice cream, you will eat the ice cream first and then eat the cone later? So to me, enjoying the ice last, it feels like that. Like save the best for last. Do I speak Spanish? No, I don't. I'm sorry. Yeah. So yeah, now I'm using a Pentel art brush. It's a gray color brush. So just like the black one that I used previously, but this is the gray version of it. Same thing, refillable. Any point of time it runs out of ink, just pop a new cartridge on it. So that's new cartridge, just put on it. So this is from the Pentel art brush. Yeah. Man, they should sponsor me. I've been promoting it. I always do good hair. Do I practice a lot? I hope I don't just do good hair. Yeah. But I do, yeah, I do practice a lot. Oh. I would say in average I draw 6 to 8 hours a day for the past 30 years. So you can do the math. Any score, Rihanna, Christie's? I did Rihanna, yeah. I mean, Renoa. I mean, so you can check that out. You can just search for it. Nowadays, I don't even go to my hard drive to look for my own artworks. I just Google them. It's much easier that way. Yeah, sometimes I also observe that from my students that many of them are very eager to improve. So they really want to level up as fast as they can. Like, sometimes they will set a very high expectation on them. Like, I want to be as good, for example, as me in within a year or two. I think it's very unrealistic, and and tell them that sometimes the fastest way to improve, maybe that can apply to you as well. Sometimes the fastest way to improve is to slow down. So ponder ponder upon that. Sometimes the fastest way to improve is to slow down. So what does that actually mean? It means that take time to understand what you draw, how you draw it, and why you draw it. Don't just rush it. Don't just go through the motion and just try to YOLO and go autopilot. Consider more about what you draw. Like, is that the right way to represent the materials? Is that the right way to represent the emotions? Is that the right stroke to apply? Be more mindful of all this. Slow down. Think through a lot more. And then you find yourself speed up and improve. Pee like water, my friend Bruce Lee. Yeah. Looks to me like the Pentel brush pen. Yeah, that's a Pentel brush pen. Exactly. Welcome back. Yeah, as I say, Instagram have to stop every hour. Irritating, but there's nothing I can do. Do I do commission for people? Yes, I do. Only at conventions. So since now the convention has stopped, I guess I don't anymore. Maybe I'll try to open up some slots online in the near future. Okay, looks pretty all right. Yeah, she still has no eyeball. Save it for later. Materia. I have no idea how the material look like, but something like that. Mm. I am thinking of a green material, the same one that she passed to Cloud at the train station, I think. Or is it different from person to person? But that's why I remember. Mm. Yeah, I think green is fine. I don't think she passed Cloud the summon material. Mm. Okay, that should be enough for the gray pen. So what I'm trying to do after this will be applying colors to that. Okay, let me put a bit of the eye, the iris, so that it doesn't look too creepy, like some of you said. All right, this looks okay. Mm. All right, I'm going to take a short break. I will come back and then continue with the coloring. So don't go away. Well, you can actually. Can grab a coffee, get some snacks. Mm. If you need to go and sleep, go ahead. Don't make me stop you. And I'll see you back in a bit. Okay, back in action. Let me try to wrap this up with some colors. Brown hair. Squeaky sound. Do you like the squeaky sound of Copic? It's so, ASMR. And the smell of it. So what I'm doing now is like putting colors onto a grayscale image. In the case, I don't need to spend too much effort to blend the colors to form some volumes for the shapes, because the shape has been quite defined by the gray and the black. So I just need to overlay a base tone or the local color onto it. I also find that in this case the entire image is more unified because there's an underlying tone of the gray and the black that tie everything together. Much easier for me to manage at conventions because I don't need to bring all colors. Just some of the key colors will do. As you can see that the black and the gray sits really well with the Copic. It doesn't smudge or smear the Copic doesn't smear the tone of the grays. Is someone singing at the background? Yeah, it is. Some moss prayer. Next door. Okay. Nice brown hair. Am I self-taught? Yes, I am. Because I was born in the era with no internet. So the only way for me to learn is to teach myself. There's no art school to teach these kind of artworks. So I was all on my own. It's a long journey though. So I try to figure everything out by myself. Try to make sense with what I draw, how to draw it. Thank you. Who's my favorite Final Fantasy characters? Of course, For 7, it'll be Tifa. Also like Riku. She's really cute. For male character, I like Cloud. I like Vincent. For Zack, unfortunately, I did not play a Crisis Core, so I may not know Zack as much. What's the grammage of the paper? The grammage of paper is 250 gram. It's an inkjet paper, the heavy stock inkjet paper. That's something that I got from my local bookstore. I don't think you can get it internationally though. It's just a kind of paper I stumbled upon. And found out that it works so well with Copics and ink. So I stuck with it for a long time. Do I use Bristol? Yes, I do. When it comes to charcoal pieces, or some of my bigger commission pieces like 11 by 17, like my cover pieces, yeah, I use Bristol, Strathmore Bristol to be precise. How do you get the motivation to do commissions? Motivations. Well, usually I do commission only at conventions, and I travel such a long time. You're talking about 20 to 30 hours of flight to get to somewhere. So I always try to make full use of it. So that was my motivations, to be able to interact with fans and give them something that they like. how long have I been doing art? I've been doing that for the past 30 years. I start drawing seriously when I hit 15. That was the time that I wanted to be an artist as a profession. What time is it over here? It's now 1:15 p.m. in Singapore. What color am I using now? I don't know. I have so many Copics. I just try and look at the colors rather than remembering the number. I'll deal with the Materia later, so let me finish up the armor first. Seems like it's running out of ink for this. Let me refill it. So this C4. If you haven't used any refill ink for Copic, you should. It will save you a lot more money. C4. Some people like to just take out the nib and then squeeze the ink in. I'm a little lazy, so I just squeeze it onto the flat tip so like it's soaked inside. You didn't even know I'm from Singapore? Yeah. Funny that many people didn't know about it. You know, sometimes I'll post pictures of me and my family with some Singapore landscape or Singapore buildings at the back. And many times I receive messages or comment from people on social media and say that, oh, you are in Singapore, welcome. Hope you enjoy your stay. Not knowing that I'm already staying here for 30 years. Alright, that should be enough. Am I tired? No, I'm not. Why should I be? Well, to be fair, this is only afternoon for me. So when I use the strokes for the armor, I should make it a little bit more bumpy, so it's not as clean. So you can see that I'm not using the brush tip to draw this. I'm using the flat tip to draw it, to paint it, so that it gives a lot more hard edges. So it looks more bumpy, like those more damaged armor kind of look. So my technique will be starting with grayscale base and then color. Yes, for this particular style, that's what I do. Of course, I also draw full Copic stuff with full blending and all. But for conventions, I try to make it faster, more effective. So I usually adopt this particular approach. I think it works well so far. paint those eyes. I want to see it. Wow. Yeah, soon it will come. All right. How often do I go live? In the past, very often. I used to stream on livestream.com, and then I moved to YouTube, then I moved to Facebook Live, and then I moved to Instagram and Twitch sometimes. But I must say it's a really big commitment. It's not something that I can afford to do regularly, but fortunately because of this stay home thing, I get to stream a lot more. Am I going to stream cloud as well? I hope so. If you don't mind looking at it. What the biggest mistake I make when I do coloring? Use the wrong colors, I would say. Or paint something a bit darker than I wanted to. There's no way to fix it. Just accept it and make sure you don't do the same mistake next time. That's all. You always learn something new every time. Okay, I think I should do the Materia then. Let me find some fluorescent green. Let's see how this works. This looks very glowy. Okay. Some yellow green. Some teal green. I think that's okay. How do you learn to do swirl like this on Materia? I don't know. Well, I'm just trying to figure out like what is the best way to represent the idea of Materia. I think I can add some white on it. Yeah, that looks alright. Now let me do the skin tone. Will I put this up on auction? Yes, I will. I try not to hold you back too much. I'll try to wrap it up as fast as possible so you can go and rest. But those are from the opposite side of me. Do I scan my artwork? Yes, I do, because I usually compile them and put them into art books or sketchbooks, so that I need to have a good clean scan of it. So I will scan everything that I draw. If I'm at conventions, I don't have a scanner with me, then I will usually take a photo of it with my camera. Do I still do non-commissioned digital fan art? What's the question? Do I still do non-commissioned digital fan art or just the copy sketch nowadays? Yeah, I realized that last year I didn't have a chance to do a lot more digital stuff. I had a lot of comic cover to work on last year, so I remember I only did one or two digital fan art, like the Pokemon. What's the name of the Pokemon trainer? The very dark skin one. I forgot, but that was the only one I drew. Hopefully, I get a chance to draw more digitally for fun. When I do too many digital artworks, I will find it a bit tiring. So I want to switch it up a little bit and do more traditional. Do I feel more natural doing actual pen rather than digital? Not really. I like both. Yeah. I don't have any preference like one medium over the other. They're fun in different ways. Of course, I mean, digital is more forgiving. You make a mistake, you can always fix it. Traditional, not so much. But that's the challenge. Give you a bit of the eyeshadow. Like doing actual makeup. You love the charcoal artwork that I did? Oh, thank you. Yeah, charcoal is really hard to stream. It takes such a long time and the process can be really boring. It's not like a speed drawing or painting like this, which are a lot more suitable for streaming. Is Copic hard? Everything is hard if you don't know about it. So give it a try. Do some small tests. Don't have to draw full colors like what I'm doing here. Just get the warm gray set. I started off with warm gray when I first used Copics. Warm gray and cool gray actually. I've been doing that for many months before I start using colors in my Copic work, just to learn the behavior of the media. There's really no trick to all this. Just try and fail and try again and fail. That's fun. Provided you learn something from your mistake, of course. Just remember that in our life, we learn everything by failing. I learned swimming by failing. I learned riding bicycle by failing. You like the way I speak English? Really? Yeah. Yeah, English is not my native language. I tried. Nice little lips. Since when I started drawing? When I was 15. What language should I speak? I usually speak Cantonese. I was born in Hong Kong, so I speak Cantonese and also speak Mandarin. And I speak English. That's pretty much about it. Did I finish playing the Final Fantasy VII Remake? Yes, I did. I spent 2 consecutive days over weekend to finish it. On easy mode, though. Yeah. because I was so afraid that I couldn't even finish the game on easy mode. You know, when you have kids and family, it's not easy to play games now. Oh, you're from Hong Kong as well? Nice. Can I still speak Cantonese? Yes, of course. You can hear me breathing. Is that good or bad? That means I'm still alive, right? It's a good thing, right? Getting close. The last bit will be the eyes. Okay, let me check out her eyes colors. Brown. Brown. Do I speak Mandarin to my family? Yes, I speak Mandarin and English with to my wife and my kids. Only speak Cantonese to my parents and my siblings. My family, do they draw? I think my parents love to draw, just for fun, like sketch a little bit when they were young. So since young, they really encouraged me to try out art, and they would buy me a lot of coloring books for me to play with, and they've been very encouraging. And my sister is also an artist. She draws mainly anime, cute anime stuff. Am I religious? Yes, I am. I'm a Christian. Do I use Corel Paint and Photoshop? Yes, I do. I use both Corel Paint and Photoshop for my digital work. So I use them side by side. You can see many of my videos on my YouTube when I use them both at the same time. I would love to draw right now. Do it, of course. What time is it over here? It's about 1:40 p.m. Did you publish your very first job for G.I. Joe? Yes, G.I. Joe is one of my first projects with comic. As a studio as well, we did a lot of coloring for them. That time, back then, it was under this company called Devil's Due. Yeah. That's our first steps into the comic industry. Okay, now let's give her a bit of highlight or specular. Yummy. Of the reflections. Let's thank you. How were you introduced into the comic industry? Back then we worked with some clients and some of them are related or know some people in the comic industry, mainly DC Comics. So he loved what I did, so he introduced me to the publisher or well, the how to call that editor of DC Comics and start to bring me comic related projects. And that's how I first got into comics. Do you have online courses? No, I don't. I don't have any online courses. The only course I have is a offline. That means you have to come to Singapore physically to learn with me for 1 year. And I do have a lot of students from all over the world. Oh, seems like Instagram has stopped. Let me continue here. Day 7, never too late. Keep going. Do I plan to have any online classes in the near future? I hope so, but at this point it doesn't seem like it's going to happen soon. I think my offline classes already exhaust me pretty much everything. Yeah. And I can't just go into full-time teaching. I still want to be part of an industry, doing things for the industry. So I still want to be teaching part-time instead of full-time, so that I can bring back some relevant information or updated information to my students at any point of time. Sometimes I realize that many art school professors, when they start teaching, they stop drawing. And that's a strange thing to do. Are you still an artist when you stop drawing? So I want to make sure that I'm still at the on the ground, in the battlefield, so to speak. So that whatever I teach my student will be relevant and updated. My high school friends learned 3D and 3 Sense a couple of years ago. Oh, that's cool. How do we sign up for the offline course? You just go to 3dsense.net and then you can find all the information there. Usually our waiting time is about 1 to 2 years. So it may give you enough time to prepare yourself. Where am I from? Where am I from? I'm from Singapore. Do I have any tutorial book? No, I don't have any tutorial book. I only have videos. Alright, I think that should be quite done for me. Usually when I do live stream, my drawing speed is a lot slower. Because I have to keep checking the messages and answer the questions. Yeah. So that's it. Let's have a close-up look to that. Maybe I should darken the eyes a little bit. Looks a little bright. Yeah, after this, maybe I will also stream Cloud. May not be for you if you are sleeping. Yeah, so I'm going to end the stream, have my lunch, and then I may resume my stream with Cloud. Again, I'm not suggesting that you should stay up. If you are past bedtime, just go. Alright, so I'm gonna end this first, then have my lunch, and then after that I will continue my stream with Cloud. If you're still around, do join me. If not, have a good rest. You can always check back the replay.